Star Oracle. I'm Mandy. Today we're going to be doing something a little different today. I'm going to be showing my face this time. Let's see. So we'll just choose what the energetic vibes are going to be within the next week. But yeah, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing very well. It's been energetically within the last couple months. It's been a trying time, I've heard, for some. And it's also been a time for transformation. I feel like there's been an energy of pushing people through changes and forcing, people to make those changes that need to happen, myself included. And we have the moon card coming out here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, the moon card. The moon card, dealing with illusions, subconscious, intuition, the things that are underneath the surface, facing those things that are underneath the surface. And I'll read what the book says about them so I can be a little more specific for you. We'll just take them all because maybe that's what's going on here. We have... so we'll start with, we got the planets and we got 3 signs here. So we got Saturn. I feel like that's been an important planet within the last couple months. We got Aquarius. We have Leo. We have Cancer. So there's actually a few different elements here. Could be Moon in Cancer, Moon in Aquarius, Moon in Leo, Saturn in Aquarius, Saturn in Leo, Saturn in Cancer. But off the bat, before I read the book, we have definitely the element of intellect here. So Saturn, I believe, is about intellect. It's about creation. We'll go more into that to confirm what I'm feeling. Then we have Aquarius here that also talks about intellect, creativity, putting things into basically using your logic to make sure that whatever you're going through is functioning in a logical fashion. I feel like the emotional aspect for the last, and especially going for the next week, is going to require you to make choices more on logic rather than on emotion. More of nurturing energy here with the moon into Cancer. Taking care of yourself, making sure you're nurturing yourself as well. Leo is about outward expression, about action, passion, because that's that fire element here. So perhaps acting on things that you are passionate about, especially goals and ideas. So let's go ahead and read what this book says, and so that we can really pull things together. So we have the moon, okay? Let me pull it up and I'll show you. And sorry for my dog in the background, okay? Moon. So this card says, the moon shows us the regularity of cycles and teaches us about the importance of change as it moves through its cycles each month. It governs emotion, instincts, and intuition, as well as memory and imagination. Issues around maternal figures, traditions, and adaptability can also be represented by the moon in card. So yeah, like I said, there's definitely aspects here about cycles. The moon always has cycles. If you also look at the moon, if you're affected by the moon like I am, definitely paying attention to how you're acting on specific moon cycles, especially leading up to the full moon, because things are coming up under subconsciously. If you've noticed that maybe you're a little bit more emotional, a little more like things that weren't bothering you in other days just supposedly are bothering you around that time. So it's definitely about, recognizing how you are in specific cycles of the moon, and recognizing what's coming up, what is coming up during those times. And also, maybe your life is also going through a time of cycles. Maybe you're going through the ending of something and you're now being forced to go to the next phase of whatever that is in your life. Could be financially, emotionally, whatever that is for you. As I'm seeing here, it could be both emotionally and financially, or in terms of things that you're passionate about. Then we have the Saturn. So let's go to what Saturn says. We got Saturn. Let's see. Saturn's associated with the Roman god Saturn and sometimes with Father Time. Saturn is often called the hard taskmaster, probably because Saturn pushes us to feel ambition, set and achieve goals, and create secure lives. When we undertake these tasks, we usually learn important lessons through facing challenges. So yeah, this next week, what to expect is definitely you're being called to use your intellect rather than your emotion. Perhaps you are developing something in terms of your life, your foundation, setting tasks, making things more logical in your life, setting structure. That's definitely what I see with the Aquarius here. You're learning more of your intellect, especially within the next week. But that energy has been called forth because you're going forward in a new cycle. So you're definitely being called to touch on your analytical side. How are you structuring your life, and so basically in terms of your health as well. I feel like that's another aspect as well. Are you setting healthy boundaries for yourself? Are you setting up a routine for yourself in terms of your self-care? Are you what is this new paradigm? Because I feel there's this shift happening here where you're required to set up a new structure and a foundation for yourself in this new energetic flow. So I definitely feel like that's what's going on here. So let's go to Aquarius to further solidify what I'm feeling with that. Okay, so the communicative energy of air finds determination in the fixed, stick-to-it quality. You may not have the answers, but you have a network available to you. Use it, and the answer to everything is at your fingertips. The key phrase, I know, is a little misleading. You don't necessarily know the answers, but rather you know how to find them. In this situation, ask who has the information that I need. Also, Google is your friend. Having big visions and loving ideas makes for great conversations, but can leave a relationship empty of human emotion and others feeling neglected. Avoid being distant, detached, and cold. So yeah, maybe during this time, you're probably just going through a change and you're so focused on trying to set up something in your life that maybe you're just coming off a little detached from others because you're trying to figure something out, especially within this next week. So I just feel like that's the energy that's coming in, but to be conscious of that, it's not of course, there is the need to build and to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to set up your foundation, but also to add some warmth to that in terms of balancing that energy out with the emotional aspect of nurturing yourself and remembering to give yourself love. If that shows up as in, exercising or being with those that you do love, make sure you're balancing out that energy, especially in the week going forward, so that you're not, depleting yourself and neglecting other aspects of your life. Let's go to Leo. All right, Leo, This passionate energy of fire gives life to the fixed focus quality and says, remember your sovereignty, which means your power. Express your natural leadership qualities. This is no time to be shy, but instead accept the spotlight. The key phrase, I will, says it all. You will shall be done because you will make it happen. Ask yourself, how can I shine? Gather all of your courage and confidence and create your reality. Leo energy is all about confidence and taking your rightful place as king of the jungle. But you are not really the boss of anyone else, and you are not infallible. Avoid arrogance. So yeah, maybe this shift is also requiring you to you're shifting into your power. Are you asking yourself, why is this shift happening for me? Why are these things popping up for me? It's maybe because you're meant to recognize that you're in a stage where you're supposed to be shifting into your powerful self. Especially maybe there's like a transition that's going on in your life that's just requiring you to step into your power and to look at it from that angle rather than an I lost angle, if that makes sense. Because this shift, any cycles that happen in your life, life occurs in a cyclical nature. If you haven't noticed that. So when things are happening in cycles and something comes to an end, it's not because of you. It's not because you weren't deserving of that. Just remember that. You are deserving of anything that comes in your life. But everything occurs in cycles. And to recognize that the cyclical nature of what has occurred is for the best of you. And it's for the betterment of you and your future going forward. It's time for you to take that ending, take that shift. And I had 1313. Take that ending, take that shift, and transmute it into power and create something new and beautiful with that. And so that's definitely really what I got from Spirit. Like, Spirit was definitely rolling off the tongue there. All right, now we have Cancer. So the sensitive energy of water finds strength and direction through the cardinal take charge quality and reminds you that emotional intelligence plays a huge role in shaping relationships and life. The key phrase, I feel, means that the motivation comes from your emotions. In this situation, ask what feels right. Take the emotional temperature of the situation before acting. Feelings are complicated. We often confuse our actual emotions with the stories we tell ourselves about those emotions. Those stories can distract us from the actual feeling. Avoid emotional manipulation of yourself and others. So it's like your emotions matter within this next week. Especially, if you're anticipating something or, you're trying to build something. Like, emotions matter, but in terms of taking action on things, follow what feels right for you in terms of where you wish to see the outcome go. Look at things from a logical standpoint, like I said earlier. What outcomes do you wish to create? And set those for you. Be very strategic and intentional about what outcomes do you wish to create. Think about those outcomes. And then go ahead and when you're making a decision or whatever decisions come your way, make sure they come from a place of emotional certainty rather than from, oh my gosh, I'm fear of lack or fear of something. Emotions create that, or especially fear creates emotions, okay? So make sure you are also recognizing your emotions and how they play in specific acts. Are they emotions that are reasonable or are they just coming from a place of fear? So there's that aspect there too. This is definitely a time to put things into place, structure. So setting things into place must be from a very even keel energetic point. So now that we have that energy there, that's what's going to be coming up, especially within the next week and what to focus on. Let's see if we have any additional messages that Spirit wants to tell you. And what else and see if we can have it, back up what we were just saying. Let's see. That was a very weak shuffle. Very, very weak shuffle. Courage is another thing I heard. We have 2 of air. Look at that. This is what I said earlier about indecision. There's something about choices that need to be made. This element of making choices. So that's something I feel like Spirit is saying, like, in terms of whatever choices that you make sure that they're coming from a place of 1717, from a place of rationality rather than just fear-based. Oh, here's another card. 4 of air, the 4 of swords. This means contemplation. Spirit says take the time, rest, contemplate about things. So so far we have a lot of like we just said, a lot of air energy, which is also symbolic of the intellectual mind energy. So the Four of Air is talking about, taking the time to reflect, taking the time out to really think about your choices and also what you're passionate about. It's okay to, not have everything together at this time. It's really just about, taking that time to really, you know, make decisions from a place of logic. 10 of Fire. So this is talking about, responsibilities, burdens, things that, are going to be coming forward. So you're going to have a lot of responsibility coming forward. Spirit says to take it in stride. Make sure you're nurturing yourself when you have these responsibilities that are going to be coming forward for you. Three of Water. This is the Three of Cups. So Spirit is saying like the indecision that you have about whatever choices that you're making, they're going to bring about positive outcomes. But also, depend on those that you care about to help guide you in terms of the decisions that you're going to be making. Because for some reason within this next week, there's going to be some decision that's going to be made. I also see something worth celebrating. So there's a choice that's going to definitely come up, that's going to definitely bring you a sense of celebration. I also feel, we'll clarify one more time. We got the Five of Wands, standing your ground. The Five of Wands is just about, recognizing what it is that your power is in. Like stand your ground in your truth. Stand for your beliefs. What is it that you want? What is it that you truly want? Even if it's in conflicting with others, just choose what it is that feels right for you, especially when it comes to this decision. But this decision that you make, whatever it is, it's going to make sure that it comes from a place that it will bring you a sense of fulfillment, that it will bring you a sense of long-lasting fulfillment. Thank you, Spirit. The High Priestess. So yeah, Spirit is definitely calling you to, trust your intuition at this time. Spirit is saying like you're being required to listen to your intuition. You're being required to sit with your intuition because there's something that you're missing here. So within the next week, meditate, take some time for yourself, give yourself some TLC. Nine of Water, the Nine of Cups. So this is talking about emotional fulfillment. So yeah, take that time to figure out what will provide you this Nine of Cups here. What will give you some emotional fulfillment here? Because you know the answer. So Spirit is saying you know the answer to what fulfills you, what will provide you with that sense of success and assurance. Maybe you want something that just feels like it will bring you a sense of fulfillment. And Spirit is saying like, what that is. And you even know that it's going to be coming for you. So you need to like kind of figure out what it is that you're passionate about. What is it that you ultimately want as an outcome? And follow that. And also I see this element of knowing that there is, something on the horizon here in terms of what fulfills you. And I feel like there is like a knowingness with this element here. Like you're feeling a sense of knowing. I don't know how else to explain that. Like something is on the horizon. And this is just to further explain it. The Four of Earth talks about the Four of Pentacles. So this is talking about control of finances. I'll put that underneath the 10 of Fire. So there's going to be, a lot of burdens here I'll also further clarify the 10 of just in case, but I feel like this also coincides with the 4 of air. Perhaps you're also thinking about how to preserve your money, preserve, making any hasty financial decisions as well, and spirit is backing that. So choose whatever decisions will help you to save the most money is something that I'm also hearing here. And also learning how to, at this point in time, you're also learning how to financially deal with such situations and circumstances. So spirit is saying follow that which feels right and what most important, because you do feel like there's a lot of emotional a lot of burdens going on here. So spirit is saying like, definitely conserve your finances, because there are a lot of responsibilities that are going to be coming forward for you. There's also the Judgment card came out. So I feel like this is a major arcana card. So this is saying like, Judgment is saying like you're being called for something bigger. Like this twist of fate, I'm gonna say, or this, pivot that you're going through or cycle of ending. This is showing you that you're meant for something more in alignment for you. And spirit is saying like, it's time for you to listen to the call, listen to what feels right, because this is you're being called for something. This pivot is not for the detriment of you. It's for the betterment of you. There's something good on the horizon here, because I also see the Ace of Cups. This is called the Ace of Water. So this Ace of Water is talking about, a new beginning of something, especially an emotional fulfillment, like an overflowing of emotional abundance. So it's like you're on the way to that Ace of Cups, okay? And, Spirit is saying like stay the course, just focus on creating a structure for yourself. Make sure that you're focusing on that which fulfills you. Collaboration's also another thing we have at the bottom of the deck here, the 3 of Earth. So like, if you have to talk to peers to help you, maybe networking to help you get to where you need to be, that's another thing to think about. But whatever that is you're being called to meet specific groups, go into specific spaces, and really cultivate something for yourself. There is an underlying message here in tone for whatever it is you're going through. And especially this week, you're going to see that. So Spirit is saying, like, take the time to, when it comes to your indecision, lean on those that you care about, and also lean on what it is that you want to stand on. Also, remember to focus on your finances in terms of conservation. What's the best possible thing or choices to help make sure that whatever it is during this next week, you're conserving your finances in a smart way. Also, taking the time to figure out what you're passionate about, because you're now being called to walk into your authenticity. You're now being called to follow your passions, something that will provide you with emotional fulfillment. And it's time to put on your thinking cap rather than your emotional cap. And it's like, are you making decisions out of fear, or are you making decisions from a place of certainty and you are being logical about it? So it's kind of like you're being pulled on your masculine energy here. Your feminine energy that's coming through here is just for you to make sure you're providing balance in how you are taking care and navigating this next week, this next month, with this energetic flow that's happening. That you're balancing your time and how you're looking at things. If you're looking at things and neglecting yourself, that's an issue. You're going to burn out, and you're going to really, really crash and burn is what I'm hearing. So like Spirit is just saying like, look at things from a bigger perspective. Things always come in cycles. Things always occur cyclically. And to really take the time to strategize and think about your next steps in a way that will bring you frugality, emotional assurance, and that you are also standing true on who you are and where you ultimately want to be, your outcomes. Okay? So if this resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and comment below if there was anything you think I should have changed or you would like me to do. But I think it's really great that you're able to see me face to face and I can provide this, guidance for you guys in a more personable way. Because I love it. All right. So next time, bye, you guys. Namaste.